Alright guys, welcome to your chakra collective reading. So this is in regards to the challenge. This is something that I did for myself. Every day I did do a reading for myself in regards to my chakras, and it came up with some really interesting stuff. So this is going to be a general reading, guys. This is about the collective energy that is going to be taking this challenge. So if it doesn't resonate, that's okay. It just means that you could, have a really balanced root chakra or whatever chakra it is in regards that we're doing. And that's all right, because some of us do. Some of us have very balanced systems, and maybe we're just trying to maintain. So wherever you're at on your journey is fine. Just don't try to make it fit. Remember that it is a collective reading. It is not personal, okay? So I already did shuffle these, but let's see. Source, what messages do you have? Where's the collective root chakra at? Okay. One more. What else can you tell us about the collective root chakra, Source? One more card. Whoa, okay, they wanted two more. My bad. All right. Okay. We'll see the bottom of the deck. I'm going to go ahead and get one of these. Now I'm doing a cosmic reading card. The reason I picked these is because they're also connected to the chakra system, okay? So I don't bring these out very often. I love these cards. I don't know why I don't bring them out very often. I just don't. But they're very much soul healing cards. So let's see. What's one card for the collective? One oracle card for the collective. Thank you, Source. All right. We'll read that in a minute. I don't know what it is. So what do we got? First up in 4 months. Most. Okay, we have Temperance in the reverse. We have the Lovers in reverse. Okay, we have the 5 of Coins in reverse. And the Moon. Wow, we did a 4-card pull, and you guys got all mystery cards out. Everything's in the reverse. So for those of you that are on this, that this resonates with, it's just because there's definitely an imbalance in the collective root, and this is all about grounding. There's definite need to balance out. So some of you guys are fighting addictions, whether that's with coffee, with alcohol, whether that's with, it could be sexual energy, right? Addictions don't necessarily have to be something we consume. Now, if you guys catch the video, you'll know I'll go into depth about all the addictions on there as well, okay? So they're just talking about right now, there's a definite addiction that's coming out here that needs to be healed, that you guys aren't ready or willing to balance just yet. It's not to say that you won't be, but right now, there's this feeling of, I find stability in this and I don't want to change it yet. I'm not ready to change it yet. And so with the Lovers coming, or the Lover coming out in the reverse, it's showing me that some of you guys, like, that's why I was saying the addiction could be very sexually oriented. Could be very much revolving around promiscuity. This could just be trying to connect with people on a physical level just to feel something. When we're not connected with our sacral and our root chakra, we're very imbalanced in the emotional world. We're not able to connect on deeper levels, and so we make connections based on physical intimacy. And there's a lot of secrecies here. So there's a third-party situation for some of you guys that is coming up that Source wants you guys to pay attention to. Okay, whether that's you putting someone in a third-party situation or someone's putting you in a third-party situation, it is affecting you on a whole, okay? Not allowing you to listen to your higher self or your higher intuition here. And we're also dealing with the mother wound that's coming through, which is interesting because the root chakra is a masculine wound. But what it's telling me is that you guys are relying so much on masculine energy, which is very action-oriented, right? Feminine energy is very receptive. It doesn't matter what your sexuality is, okay? What you were born as. It does not matter. None of that. Or what you choose to be. It does not matter, okay? None of that matters. What this is more about everybody. It's like the yin and yang energies here. We have both, and they fit together as a whole. But what one are you leaning more into? Because if you're leaning more into one, that means that there's an imbalance with the other. And so they're showing me that there is a mother wound here. Okay, there's a need to be clearly communicate with yourself. Okay, this is not about others. This is you clearly communicating with yourself and figuring out what it is that you're trying to gain from people who are outside of you, right? This is like approval, validation, maybe it's a fear of abandonment here. So it's like maybe you move from one person to the next in life, or maybe you're afraid that your friends and family are going to abandon you, and so you keep them at arm's distance, right? You need to become the stability in your own life, and you need to validate yourself, okay? And so Source is saying here that there's a denial of your spiritual growth because you aren't really making a decision for yourself. And this is imbalancing both aspects. So when you have a really overactive masculine energy, you're very hardened, very closed off from the world, not capable of really inviting people in, not being able to receive. It's kind of like if something comes up, it's more this energy like, I'll do it myself because no one else can do it right anyways. It's like kind of this, it's a rough energy. It really is. When you're in your feminine, you want people to come in and help you. You are able to ask for help, and you're able to not only ask for help, but receive help, right? Like that's a feminine trait. It's like, say you go to somebody's house and the first thing they ask you is, do you want a glass of water? To be feminine is to accept that glass of water. It's not necessarily about being thirsty. It's about the act of receiving. It's like the gesture is there, so I'm going to receive the gesture. Okay, and that's as simple as it comes down to, guys. And we're talking about a masculine chakra here, and they're showing me that this is connected to the mother wound. So you guys, we'll get into the sacral chakra soon, don't worry about that, but they're showing me here that you're not able to fully listen to how your feelings are directing you in your everyday life, because you're already trying to feel something through very grounded things, very material things. This could be money, this could be greed, this could be, again, it could be alcohol, this could be, smoking, this could be marijuana, this could be drugs, okay? And I'm not here judging, guys. Whatever you've done or chosen to do, it is human, okay? Don't let people tell you that you're a terrible person because you chose something to escape life, okay? It's not. It just means that you made a human decision to not feel your feelings. And part of this is all about connecting with your feelings again and really connecting with who you are on a whole. Okay? And so that's what Source is saying, is there's this need to really go into solitude. It's not isolation. This is more about solitude, finding a place of peace, whether that's maybe on the back porch. Like I keep seeing a deck or like a porch somewhere, and like sitting outside and just sitting in the sun and letting the sun be with you. Wow, did you see that? That's so weird. It hasn't turned this whole time, and there you go. Let me put this up here. It's going to get a little bit brighter, guys. Okay, so yeah, they want you guys to really find time out in nature, okay? And it's interesting, we have air, fire, and water, and earth. We have all the signs here, right? We have all the elements here. And you have 5, 5, 6, 9, okay, 17. So this is karmic, okay? This situation is very karmic. And on top of that, it's not wanting to deal with reality. Like this is really the energy overall is the house of God energy. And when that's coming up, it's showing me that you're running away from reality because to face reality feels too painful, right? To face reality feels, I'm sorry guys, I'm just trying to find a better light here. One that's not so bright and one that's not. All right, well. You're trying to run away from what it is that hurt you. So maybe you guys dealt with sexual abuse. Maybe you guys dealt with a lot of abuse from your parents, your family. Yeah, there's just this need to really balance out your energy. Okay, on the bottom of the deck over here, they're talking about letting go of the things that stress you out. Okay, more than letting those go, can you identify those? Okay. When you identify those, you guys will ground your energy and you'll stop getting stuck in these revolving situations that don't give you anything. All right? Yeah. Okay. Too much, they said. Too much. It's interesting to connect with your root chakra. You guys have to communicate what it is that you're doing that is creating an imbalance in your root chakra. So here's an example. Yes, I'll use my own examples because, again, what you choose to do as a human is very human, and I feel like a lot of people are so afraid to acknowledge those things because they're afraid that people are going to judge them. So I have two examples here from myself. I experienced sexual abuse, and in that sexual abuse, instead of dealing with the trauma as to why that happened and what that revolved around, I became very promiscuous in my earlier years, in my 20s, and I didn't have respect for myself. And my belief was that if I took control of when I gave myself away, then I wasn't putting myself in that bad situation again. Okay, but I didn't tell people that. I didn't tell people that until I started this journey. But then come to find out when I did this journey, this 30-day journey, I realized that that even was a false belief. And the reason that I found out that was a false belief was through the journaling. It came to my attention that the only reason I created that belief is because I didn't want to deal with the betrayal that I felt on that day. There was a lot of circumstances that happened, and I was betrayed by 3 really close people to me, people who I loved and I had given my heart to and I trusted with every ounce of my being, and all 3 of them betrayed me in separate scenarios, but that happened all on the same day. And it was just a really interesting situation to see that the reason I chose to harm myself wasn't because of what had happened to me. It was because I was brokenhearted and I didn't want to feel that again. Okay. Second scenario. I was a pothead. I was a huge pothead, guys. Like, I was the stoner of stoners. I did all kinds of things with weed, and, we would cook it. We would make ramen with it. We would make more than just edibles with it, guys. Like, I mean, it was crazy, the things that I did. I made bongs out of everything I could find. I was a huge pothead, okay? And it's not that I don't think that pot has healing abilities. I really do. But I feel like for myself, what I wasn't honoring was the fact that I was relying on it as escapism. And I stopped smoking last year, and I stopped doing anything with marijuana. I have no problem with it, guys. I don't. It's something that we used when my mom had brain cancer, and it helped her a lot. It helped with the pain. It helped her overcome certain things with the chemo. So that's not something I'm going to be like, oh, you shouldn't be smoking pot. No, I will never say that. But I'm saying, like, for myself, I had to really be honest with myself and say, is this helping me? Or am I using it to escape my feelings? And what I realized is that I was using it to escape my feelings. It's not that it hasn't helped me. It has helped me a lot on my journey. I broke my back and I smoked weed. It helped me get through that. It helped me deal with the pain because I didn't have any pain medications. I don't like to take medications like that because of other situations from my past. And so it's like, these are the examples they're trying to give me, to give you guys, is like saying, like, whatever's going on in your life, they're asking you guys to really come into this place of honoring what you're doing or what you have going on in your life that may be keeping you disconnected from your root chakra. We shouldn't have to seek validation or, like, acceptance, right? Like, overeating, that's about being accepted. It's like, oh, well, food doesn't judge me, right? Maybe you smoke marijuana because marijuana doesn't judge you, right? So I'm going to leave these out, and I'm going to get some advice for you guys before we get into the oracle cards. Source, may please have some advice for them in regards to their root chakra. May you please have advice for the collective in regards to their root chakra. Yeah, definitely this energy of really finding time to spend, like, reflect. It's like self-reflection keeps coming up for me right now. They're showing me, like, the winter when everything is still and taking time to really reflect on where you're at. What's some advice for the collective here for their root chakra? I'll get a couple of cards, please. Okay, thank you. May I please have one more? This is because you guys fear something in the future. They're showing me right now, before these cards, they're showing me this is something you fear in the future. You fear balancing out your future. It's almost like, oh, well, I'll do that tomorrow, or I'll look at that tomorrow. I'll take care of that tomorrow. But what you're not realizing is this is actually something that has to do with the past. It's a fear of the future, but it has to do with the past. Okay. Yeah, okay, so there's somebody that was really abusive in your life. And you're using this as a coping mechanism. Yeah, they're being really upfront about that. So this is somebody you're dealing with that has a problem with authority. They have a problem with anybody that feels confident and courageous with themselves. It could be an Aries. It doesn't have to be. But when Aries isn't in their aligned energy, they could be very brutal and manipulative and almost narcissistic. Not necessarily a narcissist, but very, like, they blame you for everything. They really are like, put it on your shoulders that your life is upside down, right? And so they're saying right here that there's this energy in your energy about dealing with somebody who is very overbearing and ruthless and cruel and unkind, and maybe had to do with money and had to do with, they set boundaries with you, but they wouldn't respect your boundaries. And this is something they're saying the reason this is your advice is because they want you guys to cope with it. Sorry, a word just came up and I couldn't, sorry guys, sorry. They're saying that you guys don't want to cope with it. You're very much in this, it's almost like when this happened to you, you stopped growing emotionally at that time. So I'm getting that you guys were a young child when this happened. This could have been from the ages of 5 to 9 that this happened. And you guys are very much like in this energy of blocking yourself off from the future and not wanting to cope with the past. Like, you keep looking towards the future, like, I'm blocking myself off from what has happened in my past. I just don't want to go there. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want to have that. I don't want to be in that. It's interesting. You guys had 2 more cards come out and they're reversed. With the Queen of Swords coming out on the bottom in the upright. So this is just basically saying that what's been going on in the reading is truth. But they're also saying here, too, the Queen of Swords is not afraid to be honest about situations. Like, she is not afraid to say, this is how I feel. This is what I'm experiencing. This is what I see. This is what I know. And so whatever happened in your past, maybe you're trying to put it off emotionally, because to deal with that means that you have to undo what you told everybody it was like. So maybe it's not like you had an abusive situation in your childhood, but maybe some of you guys just dealt with emotional abuse and didn't realize it was emotional abuse. And to say that it was means that, you know, oh, I'm talking bad about my parents, or I'm talking bad about my caregivers. No. They're just saying you just need to see it from a logical point. And when you see it from a logical point, you guys will come into this balanced energy. And not only that, you guys will be able to use that as beautiful, like, fuel to move you guys forward and find your truth in this life. Your truth, not somebody else's truth, but your truth, whatever that is. Okay, and it will actually help you guys come into this very creative energy as well. So your root chakra is keeping you from creative energy. That's interesting. Okay, see your oracle card that came out was number 33, transformation. Look at this. And isn't that what we talked about this whole time, is like transformation, really? Because it's like getting rid of something that's no longer serving you. Well, that's transformation. Let's read this card. Wow, you don't want to see the back of it. You want to see the front of it. Make sure I got it. There we go. It says, and the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Transformation occurs in nature's cycles all around us: birth, death, and rebirth. These cycles are not feared when we are able to observe the transformation and beauty in change. You are also going through a beautiful transformation of self. This process can be challenging and difficult at times. Not knowing what is ahead of us can seem daunting, and you may feel you are unraveling. Didn't I say that this is like a fear of the future, but it's because you don't want to go and look into the past. Dearest one, have no fear or concern. You are embarking on a remarkable journey that will invoke and touch your soul. This is a time when patterns and habits and old belief systems are challenged and transcended. The butterfly is slowly emerging from its cocoon, which it once found stable, safe, warm, and secure. For many years, you have been playing it safe in all areas and facets of your life, but now you find that things are happening around you that challenge your way of being. You wished for more, did you not? You hungered for greater understanding, greater clarity, and greater and stronger connection of the mystery of the divine. The caterpillar has had its day. It has experienced all it needed to experience, and now the time has come for the butterfly to emerge. The beauty you bring into the world with your unique colors and flight will be so very inspiring. With your radiant beauty and courage, you will rise the vibration of the earth to greater octaves of love and light. And your guys' affirmation is, I am courageous as I embrace this transformation with love. And it's interesting because I said this, it's like you guys don't want to connect with your feelings, which is your sacral chakra, and the associated chakra is your sacral chakra. Can you guys see that there? Right there. It says sacral. Interesting. That's interesting because I kept getting that before, and I didn't know that was a card. I actually don't know which ones these are connected to. I'm not that good with these cards yet. But it's just interesting because that came through, and I kept saying it feels like you guys don't want to feel this emotion. Well, we're dealing with the root chakra, so it means that your root chakra is either over active or underactive, which is creating a strain on your sacral chakra, and that's really where the hurt comes from, is your sacral chakra. You don't want to feel the emotions that are connected with this. You don't want to be honest with you. You know, we're talking about escapism, which is what addictions are. It's escapism. So on the bottom we had number 24, which is new chapter. I'm not going to read this, but I am going to get the message, the quote from it, and see what chakra it's connected to. So the quote for this is, you're being nudged to move forward. Take that next step. A new adventure awaits. So we have your solar plexus and your heart. Yeah, so there's definitely a huge imbalance in your system right now, but that's not a problem, okay? And look, isn't it interesting because it says you're being asked to move forward. Underneath that we have move forward. Look at that. Move forward. I can't make that stuff up, guys. This is crazy. I love it. I love cards. That's why I love doing cards. It's like the amount of information you can get, and they'll bring healing information if you guys allow it, you know? And sometimes it's hard. It's hard to be honest with yourself and to be truthful with yourself, especially in situations like this. It's like, well, why can't I just keep smoking? Like, it's just been helping me cope so far. Well, eventually, like for me, it eventually got to the point where it didn't help me cope. Like, it really just turned into a situation where it was like, I really am relying on this rather than you know, using it to cope. Like, I'm smoking, but I'm still feeling these emotions. I was smoking, but I wasn't numb anymore. Like, you know, it turned into like just something to feel because I was so used to the feeling, you know. And it's not easy, guys. I was an alcoholic when I was younger too. So it's like, when you talk about addictions, like, I get it. I totally get it. And it's like, healing those addictions can actually bring you into a huge state of balance that you didn't know existed. But first you have to be honest with yourself and close this cycle. I'm getting Mercury energy coming through very strongly here. And so Mercury is all about communication. We're also in Mercury retrograde too at the time of filming this. So you guys could be having a hard time really communicating what you want with yourselves. And they're just saying, like, really spend time in solitude, not isolation, but solitude, taking time away from others to find out what are your toxic energies that are coming through, and what are the things that you can find that will bring you hope instead of feeling this sense of hopelessness. Okay, I hope that this helps. If you guys have not checked out the video for the root chakra, that is posted at the same time that this one is. It's on my channel. Check that out. It will help you guys start on that healing journey, getting you more connected with this chakra, getting you more grounded in life, because that is something that needs to be done for all of us, not just one person, not just some people. It's for all of us, okay? So I'm going to leave it here, guys. I love you. I didn't know if I said that this was number 33, so you guys may be seeing 33 a lot too, so I don't know why they just wanted me to say that. Alright, so I'll leave it there, guys. I love you. If this resonated, hit that thumbs up button. You're more than welcome to leave me a comment down below. The first few days might be a little bit here and there. Again, Mercury retrograde and everything. I kind of feel a little bit discombobulated, but I know I have to do this now, okay? I know. I can't change it. I have to do it now, so I'm excited to see you guys along the journey. If not, I'm excited to see you guys for the card readings every day. And, yeah, until we see each other again, bye.